All right, episode 20 of my podcast,
His Man Cave.
That's right.
It's your man cave. I'm gonna take over.
Okay, you're gonna take
spot.
Glenn's spot.
Yeah.
Look, let's do it like this. Let's bounce it over and let's start it over. It's episode 20.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Episode 20
Of
my podcast. His
Man
Man
Cave.
Cave.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'm Johnny Gates.
And I am David Allen, filling in for Glenn Stewart.
Man, it's gonna be one hell of a show tonight.
It is going to be one hell of a show.
This-
Like we've already, like the pre-show was already,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm sweating over it. Like
Yeah,
it was that good.
Good combo.
Yeah.
So, you when you first got in here, we
I was a little steamed. I was a
You were a
little.
little
Well, it's not even steamed. I've been thinking about things, which is a dangerous concept, if anything. But no, I was the thing I was thinking about, like in broad terms, I was thinking about customer service.
right?
Like you've had good customer service.
Yes, and I've had bad customer
Yeah.
service.
But isn't good customer service a wonderful thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And here's my problem is the people that abuse good customer service. The people that know that whenever they call in a place or whenever they go to a place, the person that is working there has to provide them good customer service.
I see what
That
you're
is their
saying.
job, and they have to bear some kind of punitive measure if they don't provide good customer service. In theory. You see, that's bad customer service right there.
Definitely.
But, and so, like, there are these people that just, like, they don't understand that something being broken or something not working or something being late is not a personal attack against them. Like, it's not like somebody conspired in the background to specifically fuck over
You were not that special.
if something isn't going right.
Well, the
Like,
truck's running late, so that means I can't get this queso. And they did that because, I mean, they knew that I was
they
ordering this
knew
to-
that I wanted the
that,
queso.
I guarantee he called that driver and was like, man, just take your time. This bitch is going to order, and I don't really like dealing with her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny that, you know, you're right. People do think, I doubt it's that. I'm sure if they broke it down like that, they'd be like, man, I'm a fucking idiot. But they don't break it down like that.
No.
And they do think that you are affecting them.
Yeah, that you're in complete
Because-
control.
Yeah, because you're the one that wants to do it. I get it. I get it.
You work here. Clearly, you're in control of everything that could be anywhere.
What do you mean the restaurant ran out of something?
Yeah, how could that even happen? You're a restaurant.
It's only
and-
1 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you mean they're out of their lunch special?
yeah, I ordered this. I wanted it. You're supposed to
Yeah.
have it.
How come it didn't get turned off?
Yeah.
I mean, man, I don't know what to tell you.
But and the thing is, it's 100% all the people that act that way when something is broken. They are always the people that have never had to fix anything in their entire lives.
Yes.
These are people that when they run across broken things, they just don't do anything. It's just broken. There's nothing that can be done to fix. Like, I guarantee you, because I've seen this happen. I used to work at a place that had a metal shop and a welding shop in the back. And sometimes, because machines are like this, and they don't do it because they're malicious, they do it because they're machines, they break. Sometimes machines break. And then, so every now and again, like a guy's TIG welder would break.
So you mean when a TIG welder goes down, it's not going down because it's upset with its wife. It's just a machine, and it just...
And machines break.
Huh.
I know.
Learn something new every day.
It's so weird. I have so many people that talk to me and were like, it worked yesterday. And I'm like, of course it worked yesterday.
That's the best. That
Of course it worked
When
yesterday.
I ordered it last week, they had it.
Yeah, it of course, but that's not today. Things only need 10 seconds to break. Oftentimes less than that. I'm just being generous.
Sorry, the power's out.
Yeah, but it's like, again, whenever you work in a shop with a bunch like dudes that understand like how machines work, it's like if the TIG welder's broken, it's like, oh, have you tried fixing it? Yeah, no, the part needs to be replaced. Well, I guess you're not TIG welding today.
Yeah, no, you're done.
Pick up a broom,
Yeah.
like sweep out that place and then go home. Like, we'll get the part tomorrow, or if it's early enough in the day, go drive and get the part from the place.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and so like, it's that concept of like things break and you can do anything after they're broken. You can either not care about it, you can fix it, you can call somebody up to fix it, you can do a lot of things. But you being a dick does not change the fact that that thing's broken.
Does not change that timeline of FedEx is not going to run that part to me till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it is coming out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's coming out of
I did do everything I could to get it here, but overnight is overnight. Sorry that
Yeah.
Amazon doesn't have
teleporters, like, because that's what the fuck it would take. It's just,
Oh my god.
it blows my mind. And like, I truly believe one thing that I fucking give full tips fedora to Uber, because one thing they did, they have a customer rating system. If a driver thinks that you're a belligerent asshole, they give you an X, and after a certain amount, Uber does not have to pick you up anymore.
I drove for Uber for a little bit, and
And here's the thing, I don't believe that it should be that extreme, because I believe if you're a paying customer in America, asshole or no, you should be able to purchase a product. But I believe after a certain amount of marks, you're not entitled to people being polite to you anymore.
Yeah, I can respect that. But I mean, Uber specifically, that's something totally different, because I'm not selling you a product, I'm picking you up. And if you're an asshole when you're getting in my vehicle,
yeah,
and you're
exactly.
an asshole every fucking time, yeah, I'm not going to pay you.
But yeah, no.
We need to know that you're a dick and you like to, throw up in the back of people's cars.
Exactly.
Or
and that's what I want. I want accountability for people being assholes, and I don't want them to take advantage of a system that's trying to provide them good customer service.
I was rude today to an individual, not at work.
Was this individual
rude to me first?
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Okay, then.
So all right,
it's game on.
I went to Walgreens, right?
Yeah.
And I was getting some beer, and there was this girl standing in front of the beer cooler door, and she was talking on her cell phone. She was loud, and she was like staring into the door. So, like, I wasn't trying to be rude. I wasn't like, I figured she was trying to make her decision. I could hear what she was saying. Yeah. And I could tell that she was upset. I could tell that she was sad. Mm-hmm. And she was.
It's the beer aisle at Walgreens. If you're not finding somebody that's upset and sad, then
then you're not. You're
in the wrong place.
They're just not there yet.
You're clearly in the soda aisle.
Yeah. Well,
or the Pantene Pro V section.
Yeah, no shit. The cat food. I don't know. That's probably sad too. Anyway, but. So I'm standing there and I'm waiting on her, and I'm being pretty patient at this, because I mean I've been waiting there for a minute as she's talking extremely
loud. And a minute,
on the
as far as like shopping, that's a long amount of time.
Right. And she finally, I guess, catches my reflection in the glass, and she turns and she looks at me. She's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Just you're standing in front of the beer, and I'm trying to get some beer." And she kind of like steps back and gives me this like shitty look. Mm-hmm. And I open the door up and I grab non-alcoholic beer, which is what I'm getting. Yeah. And she says, "That's non-alcoholic." And I was like, "You were still in the way." Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe I should have just nodded and walked off, but I mean, you're engaging me now in a shitty manner. And she was like, "It's non-alcoholic." And I was like, "Yeah, but you were still in the way, so I'm good." And she was like,
and it's still the thing I wanted.
Yeah, rude much? And I was like, "What are you talking about, rude?" I was like, "You're the one that's," I was like, "You know what? Never mind." And I went to walk off, and she was like, "Yeah, you better walk off." And I turned around, and I was like, "Bitch, I heard every word that you were saying. You're talking about being sad at the fucking holidays. This is why you're sad and lonely in the fucking holidays. It's because you're being a fucking cunt." Yeah. And I turned around and walked off, and I mean, I should not have responded. I should have just walked off. But at that point in time, way too much had gone on.
No, I actually 100% support your action, because here's what
she walked out bawling. Whatever she had in her hands, she left on the fucking last aisle over there by the sodas, and she walked out bawling. She deserved every fucking minute of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're gonna, you don't get a free pass to be an asshole, no matter what the scenario is.
Not that. I mean, she had a free pass when I started to say something and I stopped. Yeah. And then she said, "Yeah, you better walk off."
Yeah. And that's when you opened up the door, and it's like, no, you...
Bitch.
Yeah, if you, like, you clearly wanted a fight. You probably thought you were going to win based on nothing, but you clearly wanted a fight.
Man, and then everything on the ride home annoyed me. People parking. You know what really grinds my gears is when people... There's been one car on my street all day long.
Yeah, I saw it.
And then somebody pulled up and parked right next to them. And when people do that shit and park right across from one another on, a street like that shit drives me insane. Park down a little bit. Yeah. Move that way. Go over there.
Went ahead and removed the label.
Oh, man, you're good. We ain't got no sponsors. He needs to settle down with that bullshit.
Look
at all the shit in the background. Like, there's Century fucking bags. There's Bud Light sign over there. I'm pretty sure I've neglected to take the Logitech thing off of the corner from time to time. So, I mean, fuck, who cares? We'll get it figured out. We want it, what we'll do is when they tell us that, hey, remove our shit from your background, I'll be like, hey, you want sponsors?
Hey, since we got this open line of dialogue.
Man, come on.
But no, I'm like, and that's the thing. Like when somebody's shitty, like it infects you with that level of shittiness all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like and that's part of it where it's just like I feel like if you knew, and that's another thing with like the whole marker system. If you know somebody's gonna be shitty when they come up to you, then you can just be like, all right, I'm mentally prepared.
Yeah.
And then you're like every single time they try, because like that's a lot of times when I'm happening. Like I don't like really engage with people a whole lot when they're, because if somebody like comes at me like they would have come at you, like I just mentally check out and I'm just like, all right. Because honestly, that pisses them off more than anything. Like when you refuse to engage.
And I think that's kind of what happened is I started to engage her and I stopped, and I think that's what pushed her to be like, yeah, you better walk off.
Yeah.
You know, because now she thinks she's winning something. And,
Yeah.
And I even told my wife, I was like, I felt kind of bad, but like only for a second.
Yeah, again, no.
Because
that's the thing.
I got it off my chest. You know,
because here's the
Fuck
thing.
you.
It's beyond just getting anything off your chest. It's if this is the game you want to play, if this is the life you want to leave, if this is the interactions you want to have with people, then you got to accept that people are going to have this reaction to you back. Like it's 100%. You can't lean on you can't expect everybody else to be nice when you're not playing by those rules.
Yeah. No, you can't. You know, you're absolutely right.
Like, I don't know what kind of mind control serum they've got to be pumping into the employees at Chick-fil-A. But I mean,
those motherfuckers are fantastic, man.
They're fantastic.
Even the ones standing outside in the heat fucking taking your order, man, they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm about to dehydrate, but I'm good to go.
Yeah, and and Chick-fil-A has like the longest fucking line, so you know people are pissed
So
off
fast.
all the yeah.
Dude, that's one thing I never worry about when you pull up at a Chick-fil-A is how long. Oh, this line's long? Who gives a fuck? Pull in there. It's going to be done quick. They are so fucking fat. They've got 95 people working at any given moment.
But that's the thing, man. They've
Those
got to be
motherfuckers move.
They've
They
got
know what's up.
There's got to be some kind of mind control serum because they're just like. Here's the thing. I appreciate good customer service, but that is absurdly good customer service.
I think,
like it makes me suspicious. It makes me feel like every single one of them has been get outed.
I think they only sell franchises to pastors. You know what I'm saying? So they get the youth groups in there.
They only sell it to cults. Like only cults can sustain that.
I read a long time ago that, and I could clearly have read something, and I'm misspeaking here, but I want to say it's only like $10,000 to get a Chick-fil-A franchise. Like it's one of the cheapest franchises to get.
Yeah.
But they've got so many fucked up rules and regulations and things you got to deal with, and
no gays.
Man, who do you think? And you probably know this. You know, I forgot you're smart as fuck. Who's the biggest real estate holder on the planet?
The biggest real estate holder on the planet?
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I found that out, I blew my mind to find out that in their contract to be a franchisee owner, you buy the property, McDonald's owns it.
Yeah.
So wherever your property is, you build the building. If you foreclose and whatever, I still own the property. Get your shit off. Get your building off my property.
They own a lot of the farms and stuff that produce their beef, and that encompasses a shitload of like the land holdings that they have, because it was sometime like the 80s or 90s they wanted to control the means of production, so they bought their own farms. This is before like contract farming became so cheap, which is why like Tyson Chicken and a lot of people do it more that way now rather than own the farms. They just pay people slave wages and contract it out.
Dude, have you seen some of those things about how these people get fucking paid and just how terrible it is?
Yep.
No, the thing that I was reading about that turned me on to that fact about McDonald's was they apparently owned two spots in Times Square, I think is what it was, and they sold one of their spots for like $195 million for a 5,000 square foot spot.
Yeah, but it's in Times Square.
Yeah, and they still had one across the street. They were like, yeah, fuck it. We can let one go. It's all good.
That $195 million. But to be fair,
blew my mind.
No, for a company like McDonald's, $195 million is a fucking drop in the bucket.
Yeah,
like
they
don't. That's a fucking tax write-off for them.
Man, that's a lot of money.
Like they generate that level of money.
Well, I know.
Do you know how many fucking checks they write every month? Like it's ridiculous.
It's like the drug guy, the cartel guy, Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
He lost 10% of his money to rot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had so much cash that he lost 10%. He wrote off 10% a year to money that got wet and rotted.
Yeah.
He spent, man, it was a ridiculous number, like $1 million a year on rubber bands.
Yeah.
On rubber bands.
You know, at the height of his power, he was spending $60 million a day.
On what?
A lavish fucking
Holy
lifestyle.
Shit, you talk about 1%, son.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine being that 1% where you're a fucking drug cartel member?
Yeah.
Like a
But that's the thing,
cocaine kingpin? Oh, man.
Like he had, because like I said, he was like living like a lavish, like he would buy like extra mansions and like cover them with like fucking, he would have like solid gold jet skis. Like all of his kids would have fucking tigers and shit.
How many kids do you have?
I think now he are 7. That doesn't sound right. It's either 7 or 4, but I don't like that. I don't know that.
I wonder how many of his kids have that. I'm fucking Pablo Escobar's kid, bitch attitude.
But to be fair, he also invested a lot in like the infrastructure of like a lot of towns and cities. That's why they like fucking worship him in some of these places, because he like built hospitals and schools and all the shit. Because like he fully understood, like, I can't keep all this money. I can't spend all this money, because that's
can't even store all this money without 10% of it rotting.
Yeah. So that's why he was like, I can't, like, this is too much money. So he just started buying hospitals and schools just fucking everywhere. And, like, people loved him. That's why nobody minded when he took control over the government. That's why nobody minded when fucking, like, DEA agents came down there and started spraying fucking coca fields. Because they were like, fuck it, like, we got a brand new hospital to deal with it.
What do you think about the argument of legalizing, like, do you think if they legalize cocaine, say worldwide?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's legal anywhere else but here. I don't know how that works. But if they legalize cocaine like that, what would that do for Mexico's, like, quality of life? Would that give them a product that the country could get behind and sell and turn a profit instead of it being the way it is now? Because there's a shitload of money that these drug cartels make, obviously.
Yeah.
And now if that got turned over into like a legal business, is that something that would it still be corrupted?
Here's the thing right now. The structure of how the drug trade works. Because this is actually like the question you pose has like several parts of it that we can go into. But the first part of like if they legalized it, you're assuming that the cartel members are now going to go completely legit, open it up as as a corporation.
Well, at that point in time, they wouldn't have to do it illegally and hidden the way that they're doing it now.
Yeah.
Right?
No, they wouldn't have to.
Okay, so then by that logic, it would be something that they could open up. Is it something that you think would happen, or what do you think would actually happen there? What does it look like to you? Because in my mind, it's a perfect world, and it's just, oh, man, look what it does to Mexico. Now Mexico becomes a better place. You know, now we start solving the problem of, you know, the immigration and everything, because people don't want to leave Mexico because it's not a shithole. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's...
and I'm throwing quotes.
Yeah, for the legalization of drugs, which I do support, I 100% support, but it's something that it can be extremely dangerous, because here's the thing. The people that are in the cartels now, some of them did it because they had nowhere else to go, and they needed to feed their families.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that join the cartel because they are sociopaths and they have nowhere else to fit in society. And there are some people that join the cartel because they needed to feed their family and are now sociopaths.
Well, but
because you lived that lifestyle and you're now part of a criminal organization.
Right, but if once you take the illegal side of it away from it, it doesn't have to be approached as a criminal organization anymore.
Yes and no, because here's the thing. If it's not a criminal organization, it is an extremely huge armed organization who is now going to have to take a pay cut, because the main thing that drives up prices...
Oh, man, I honestly think that's...
No, because here's the thing. Because the same thing happened with pot. When pot became legalized in those states, the strains that they could make domestically were stronger, cheaper, better, and safer.
Right.
And so the cartels lost that money. And so you have to understand that, like, when it would become legal worldwide, there are so many other people that could make it cheaper, faster, better, safer.
But why aren't they making it there now as an illegal enterprise when there's clearly billions of dollars to be made? You think that if it could be made in other parts of the world, it would be being made in other parts of the world because there's so much money. It almost seems like,
Well,
to me, from an idiot's perspective, it almost seems like the only place it can grow is down here.
No, it can grow anywhere. But the thing about it is like it's the same thing with the opium trade. Opium poppies can grow anywhere. The thing is to grow it on a scale large enough to support the world's addiction to it, like cocaine or like opium. Like in order to grow it on that scale, you need a country's worth of land. Now, there are several, destitute, absolutely corrupt, like really fucked up countries where a criminal organization could get a foothold in and do it. But there's not infinite amounts of them. Like there's, like a country where like a drug enterprise could move in and like have enough land, enough infrastructure, enough roads in and out to be able to support like a Pablo Escobar, like drug cartel level of cocaine production. Like, it's a very short list of countries that are going to let you do that.
Well, I mean, Mexico doesn't let them do it, or if they did, they wouldn't be the cartels.
The majority of it is trafficked through Mexico. It's not grown in Mexico.
I gotcha. I see what you're saying.
The majority of it is grown in Colombia, and the Colombia.
I should say South America.
Yeah,
is what I should say.
Yeah, and not every country in South America grows it either. Like,
but and that's what is so. And what you're saying is it's not necessarily just in South America that you can grow it. You can grow it anywhere.
Yeah, you can grow it anywhere.
That's where it's typically done because of the politics of it.
Yeah, because of the politics of it and because they can get away with it there.
Now, let me ask you this. Could the same weed that's grown in Colorado and California and Oregon, the West Coast over there, could that same strand and brand and flavor and characteristics of marijuana be grown in South America like that? Or is it... Or does the environment favor the condition of what you're trying to get?
Well, the environment...
the better coke comes out of Colombia.
Yeah.
Just like the better weed comes out of, the
exactly.
Green Belt or the Green Triangle or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Because that's where the atmosphere is the best for it. Like, I couldn't grow the same weed here in Shreveport as you could...
in Colorado or...
without doing it indoor in an extremely controlled...
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's the thing, like, because like the coca plant is actually an extremely hardy plant. Like, it can grow a lot of places, but like your ability to produce like will somewhat go down depending on where you're trying to grow it.
Have you ever just chewed on a coca leaf?
No.
Me neither. Mm-hmm. I heard they're like nice little pet. It's like drinking a cup of coffee. It's not like doing,
Yeah. Well, you got to remember how much, like when you buy cocaine, how much of it's cut with all kinds of other stuff.
I've never done cocaine. And unless cocaine has been in ecstasy, ecstasy that I've taken, I've never done cocaine. I've never like chopped up a line and.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I've actually never done coke either. I was offered, like, the closest I ever came, like, it was I was in a really low place a couple of months ago, and somebody offered it to me, and I was like, maybe, and then I was like, nah, I don't. You're not that cute, and I don't want to have sex with you that bad. So, but
I like Lortabs too much to try it. And that's why I never got addicted. Like, never kept taking Lortabs.
Yeah. So but yeah, back on the legalization thing. Like, that's the like if they legalized it, you'd have a huge armed militia that now had nothing to do. They had no source of income. And so they would then change over to a new type of criminal enterprise. Now
why wouldn't they just keep, I guess because I'm thinking of perfect world.
Yeah.
They just keep doing it. I got the land, I got the people, I got all this shit. I'm just going to keep doing it. And instead of paying these fuckers in cash, I'm going to start cutting them checks and withholding taxes.
Well, because first of all, you're not paying them the same amount, so they can't live the kind of lifestyle they're used to. Two, they're used to being outlaws. They're used to doing outlaw shit. Like being part of a criminal organization, it changes you. It does. Like, it's because much like the same way the military has their own training and like to kind of condition you to the unit that they need you to.
I see what you're
Criminal
saying, yeah.
organizations have the same thing. You are conditioned to that unit.
Yeah, that
like
makes
you,
sense.
because all you have to do is look at the Russian mafia.
Okay.
The after the fall of the Soviet, the Soviet Empire, as it once was. All right. Yes.
Yes.
The ex-KGB and all of these military officers, they were highly trained operatives that could have done anything. You can do anything. You're very well trained. You're in very high demand. What did they do? Like, because they were conditioned, because they were a unit, they started selling Kalashnikovs fucking all over the world. Sometimes it's just about doing criminal shit. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, no, I can respect that. Yeah, no,
Sometimes people that are used to having money and power are only going to want to have money and power. Are you telling me the dude that like let's say you're a fucking cartel member and let's say you're a lieutenant? Are you honestly going to give up that fucking level of money and power to go sit in an office and fucking file spreadsheets when you're used to being a fucking king that can go point to a man and him and the two men next to him are dead?
Well, I don't know how to answer that because it brings me back to what we were talking about earlier about, the top 1% living that life for 6 months and then you're probably over it. Mm-hmm. At what level are some of these people kind of over being fucking criminals in this criminal organization and they're going to legalize this shit?
Yeah.
And then I can actually go over here because my aunt and them, they got a bunch of property over there. And I can just start growing it there. And then we can make us a little business and grow it into something bigger because these fuckers, fuck them, Like, I wonder if I could do it that way.
Well, like I said, like the thing about, because that's the difference between money and power. Because money, it can give you means, but you'll eventually get burned out on that lifestyle. Power is insidious enough to where, like, it only makes you want more power.
Yeah, I can respect that.
And, like, that's what you see.
You do have to, like, even when you're, like, the boss of someplace, you do have to check yourself from time to time because, whoa, I'm stepping out of line here a little bit.
Yeah, is a rival cartel going to take me out? Am I going to start a turf war? Is my lieutenant that I trust trying to stab me in the back, trying to cut my business? If I let this guy steal money from me because I don't want to fuck up what I got going there, is more people going to steal money from me? Or if I take him out, are more people going to rebel against me? Like, fucking, the stakes could not be higher.
Yeah.
Like, every decision you make as a cartel member could potentially be your last.
But that's only because all of it is illegal.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not just because it's illegal. It's 100% because that is the organization they built.
Okay, but if it became legalized, would that change?
It would change.
It would just take forever.
No, it wouldn't take forever. Here's to game it out. Once it's legalized, cartel members are going to get on the phone with their lawyers, and they're going to incorporate, and they're going to start branding meetings, and they're going to merge with other legitimate companies to get access to their shipping routes and distribution.
Yeah, I was about to say, because at that point in time, the fucking CIA can't come in and take all your shit. You don't have to, bribe banks to, let you keep safe deposit boxes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of...
But here's stage 2. After they're incorporated and shit goes on, all of a sudden now you've got a shitload of trigger pullers and a shitload of like people that were building submarines for you.
Yeah.
That now
yeah, touche. I didn't think about that.
That don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do anymore. You only need, like, now that you're a legitimate company, you don't need 12,000 dudes with automatic rifles just hanging around. And these guys are expensive. They're very expensive. So naturally, you're going to be like, hey, I can't pay you anymore. And they're going to be like, well, we're just going to... Well, there's two ways that could go. They could go, well, we're just going to take it, and then you have a civil war.
Yeah.
Or they could go, we're just going to form our own criminal syndicate now, where we're now instead going to traffic in humans, we're going to traffic in...
Something else something that's still illegal.
Yeah, like we're going to start, here arms trading's big. We're going to get into that. We got all these submarines, like let's...
Yeah, start selling some guns.
Let's start selling some... So
trade one for another.
And then they're going to, like I said, so they're going to form another criminal syndicate that's going to be less powerful, less influential, but... They're still going to be very dangerous because they're going to be very hungry, and they're already going to have a foothold in a country that is now raking in a lot of legitimate money.
Yeah.
So it would be a very complicated transition again, and that's assuming that it didn't just erupt into civil war 6 months after they incorporated.
Yeah.
Because that's a very legitimate possibility.
Perfect world.
But no, I'm fully in support of legalization because it just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like having it illegal, it hasn't worked for anything.
No.
Yeah. So why not just make it legal? It's not like there's going to be a huge rush of people that have never thought about doing it or never tried it before. Just going to be like, you know what? I've never.
People aren't going to be ODing in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, healthcare would have to evolve a little bit to counteract some of the addictive properties. But
I mean, I wonder how much better cocaine would be, because then it would be uncut.
Yeah.
It would be, now
FDA approved, inspected.
Now we know that, hey,
Yeah.
2 grams is really all that a grown man needs in a 48-hour period. If you weigh over this amount, blah, blah, blah.
And like I said, then you'd have people like there'd be all kinds of instructions and stuff that like it would be on commercials
Maybe
and
different
shit.
ways to inhale it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then like they'd make custom, sort of like the way they made vape pens, they'd make custom inhalers for it. Like, you can have cocaine vapor.
I like your little bump nail.
Yeah. And like I said, it'd be like a cell phone popper that you could just do coke on.
You go to get your nails done, and they'd give you a Coke spoon on your pinky.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
so it...
I like that solid white one down there at the end. That's
yeah,
pretty
it's
neat.
the best. But that's the thing. Like, legalization, like, it's better, but if it's not handled correctly, you're going to have a shitload of armed people with nothing to do, which has never gone well for anyone.
Yeah. Well, anybody that's not armed, at least.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring it back home. What do you think about Independence Bowl, Miami and Tech?
I'm a fan of Tech. I went to Tech.
Yeah.
So, well, the thing about watching Tech is you better enjoy watching them lose. But
did you watch? Do you remember the Snow Bowl of what was that, 2001? Something like that. Snowed its fucking tits off in the Independence Bowl. Watching that shit on TV, you never believed it was in Shreveport.
Yeah. No, it was mind blowing.
Yeah, that's one of the only times in my life that I saw snow like that. We had a snowball fight. I had a homeboy of mine for years. It's just so fucked up. So we had a snowball fight out in my dad's front yard. He lived over in Highland, or he lives over in Highland. And we had this huge snowball fight one night when it was snow on that Independence Bowl night when it was snowing. And man, there's fucking like 15 of us out there just fucking heaving snowballs at each other. Well, a buddy of mine, Mitchell, was standing there doing something, and I slung a snowball and pegged him in the ear, like so hard it like impacted snow into his ear. And he's like, fuck, man, fuck. And he's like trying to dig snow out. And he looks at me, and I was like, man, I can't believe Richard did that, and just walked off. Well, then him and Richard like beefed for a couple years over this shit because he was like, that motherfucker. And it was me the whole time.
Yeah.
It was great.
Also, like, why dig it out of your ear? It's snow. It's going to melt.
No. And when I tell you, I pegged this motherfucker with a snowball directly in his ear hole. Like he was.
Tell me more about the pegging.
He was hearing snow for a week. I guarantee it.
You pegged him so hard.
Pegged him so hard.
Oh my god! Just peg him in the ear. Just a little harder.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Is this episode 20 or 69? Jesus.
Oh.
If I can edit that out in post. Jeez.
Keep it in.
I'm gonna
leave it in.
Keep it in. What are we talking about? I thought we were done with that. Are you gonna go to the Indy Bowl?
Probably not.
Have you ever gone?
Yeah, I went. My uncle used to always get tickets to it, and I went for a couple of years. And it's like I enjoy supporting Tech, but it's also like I don't want to sit in the stands. I really don't. Yeah. Like I'm kind of over. Like I've gotten too used to watching games.
Yeah, weather's going to be good for it this year, but and years past,
we've had the mildest winter.
I think that's going to be all gone in January. Yeah, I think we're going to have a rough January, February.
See, I thought the same thing last year, but we had a real mild winter last year.
I just remember it being late.
No, I remember it being real mild. Like, we had, like, maybe 3 days of cold, but it was just mild all the way through. And then we had kind of a mild summer, too. Like, we've just had fucking...
Yeah, now, our summers have been somewhat mild the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, nothing compares to that. Was it 11, 12, 13...
I think you're thinking 14.
Was it 12, 13, 14? We had three years back to back. With that one year, it was like over 100 days at 100 degrees with no rain and
it was
man, it was hot as fuck.
Yeah,
that's when I owned a lawn service.
Yeah.
That was a bad, and at one of those years, whichever year the bad drought was my first year at trying to own a lawn service. It was a bad year to try to start that shit.
Yeah.
Especially when you're lazy.
Yeah.
Shit. Nothing was growing.
Any year's a bad year when you're lazy to start shit.
But it was double duty because, I mean, it was.
It's that kind of heat that just kills you.
Well, and grass, you'd go 4 weeks without cutting somebody's yard.
Yeah.
But they didn't water their shit. It was done.
Yeah.
And then when you were going, pick them leaves up or something from where the trees dying.
Yeah.
I did, shit. That shit was terrible, man. But yeah, no, I enjoy having these mild summers.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm enjoying having
fat.
this mild winter too.
I hate fucking heat. I love the winter though.
Nah.
This is camping weather. This is when you go camping. I love fucking
camping.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, we built this beautiful infrastructure with all this electricity and wonderful appliances and indoor plumbing just to go fucking sleep on dirt.
Dude, unplug and get the fuck away from it. There is nothing better to me. There's nothing better than having one thing on your to-do list, and that's to not die. That's it. That's all you got to do.
I have that on my to-do list every day.
No, man, on your to-do list every day, you have that, and then you also have, you got to work, and you got to do this, and you got to answer your cell phone, and you got to blah, 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 and make sure you lock your car, and don't forget the back door.
I have a whole fucking, I have a whole joke written about how much I can't stand fucking camping. Because here's the thing I really, really, really don't like about camping, is that when you're going camping, you're going with just the people you brought. That's it. There's no external influences. It's just the people you brought.
Right.
And you get to find out real quick, be like, oh man, we only have 45 minutes of conversation between these people.
Not us, man. We
Well, no, not you and me. I mean,
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've done 5 episodes of this shit.
One of the things that we do is you fucking shut the fuck up. It's one thing cell phones don't work. You get to unplug, you get to unwind, you get to walk around with no socks on and dirt, and
You know where else you can do that?
Fuck.
Turn off your cell phone and go to a fucking beach resort.
Yeah, but that shit ain't cheap. Beach resorts are, they're not anywhere near here. I can go hiking.
They're worth it though.
Off of Lakeshore Drive.
I have every single bit of full confidence that if a place was really worthy of my visit, they would have a hotel resort there.
I've been a lot of places, and some of the most memorable are in the woods when
that's because you
pouring down.
That's because
rain.
you did acid and fucking mushrooms and shit.
Man, yeah, I give you that. But one of the best camping trips we've ever been on was one of the ones we did. Full disclosure, did zero. I drove to San Diego this year, and that's the only camping I did, and I slept in my truck.
Yeah,
at rest stops, but. Last year in 2018, one of the best camping trips we had, all of our shit got wet because it rained. And it rained its fucking tits off on us. And I could drag all 3 of my kids out here, and I'd say, hey, what's the best time you had on vacation? They'd be like, man, that camping trip when we all huddled up in the truck, or, we had to do this and that and the other because we were stuck because it was fucking pouring down rain, and we had to, get up close and personal and hang out. And we didn't have tablets to rely on and cell phones to deal with and blah, 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 blah. We were us being us and forced to talk to each other, and it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, no, I've had several experiences like
so
that
lovely.
With my family, with my friends. I've had several experiences like that in cabins, in hotels, in fucking resorts.
I love a cabin. Don't get it wrong. But, man, let me get on trail and get 5, 10 miles, 20 miles away from my truck. I'm cool with that, too.
Nah, it better have fucking... Like I said, I'm a big fan of fucking infrastructure.
Car camping is fun, too.
I think that's been the unifying theme of every single fucking time I've been on this show. I've talked about infrastructure.
Infrastructure?
It's important.
Well, all right. If infrastructure is so important, then why haven't they finished 49 yet?
49 will never be finished.
You don't think so?
No.
I'd love to see it happen.
They'll keep adding shit before they'll finish it. It's like the fucking, you know what it is? It's the fucking Star Wars of roads, where you think, okay, they fucked up that one. They clearly won't. Okay, that's a little better. Oh man, they made it bad again. Oh, now it's good. Oh, it's not. And it's
no, I'm talking about completing it, the interconnector from where it stopped. They just finished it on at 31 220 and North Market out there to where it stops right at 20 right now.
Yeah,
I want to see them connect it. That's what I want.
It'll happen eventually. They just need a new. They need a stimulus pack. Well, the whole infrastructure bill needs to be. It's a lot.
Well, there's
I've talked about the fucking math of trying to do infrastructure infrastructure redevelopment, and it's insane.
Expensive.
It's not just expensive. It's expensive. Nobody can agree how expensive, why it's expensive. Nobody can agree how we're going to pay for it, how long it's going to take. Everybody agrees that we should do it. Nobody wants to do it because it's not only is it insanely boring and insanely important, you can fuck it up so easily. And then when you fuck up infrastructure, it's 10 times more expensive than it ever was before.
Because of what you have to do to fix it?
Or what you have to do to live around it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they should finish that shit, but that's my opinion.
I vote for the right congressman.
And there's a lot of people that are that are doing their best to keep that from happening. You know, there's that whole Allendale Strong thing.
Yeah.
That is. There's a lot of people that say that, you know, oh, they're tearing down interstates and other places, and it's just, you know, it's a old way of thinking. But I don't know, man. I've done a lot of work in this town that requires you to drive, and like, for example, from where I used to work right there at Gilbert and Stoner, to get from there to where I-49 is at on North Market and start going north to Arkansas. I mean, in one of those trucks, it's a 30-minute drive depending on what time of day it is, where instead of taking a right and having to go the way you go now, if you took a left and went down by the police department and jumped on 49, you're at that same spot in 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're talking about how much diesel fuel, how much time, how much effort. I mean, that opens up delivery services like
Exactly.
like what I do like what I do now. It opens up us to be able to deliver in different places. Our employees make better money.
Yeah.
You can get from I-49 to 220 like that. I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, it's just something that needs to be done.
Yeah, it needs to be done.
Yeah, and I drive through that neighborhood. I used to live out in Blanchard, and I drive through Allendale all the time. And you know, the path that I've seen them put down that they want to do. I mean, it's all burnt down houses and abandoned places, and there are a few that people do live there, and I will give you that. But I mean, how many houses are abandoned out of that projected path that you could, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to give you the, what is it, eminent domain or whatever it's called that they do when they come in and do shit like that. Instead of doing that, I'm going to fix this house up over here. I'm gonna pay a contractor to gut it and clean it up, and instead of buying your house, I'm just gonna move you into that one, and everything keeps on going, and we're gonna put this interstate in here.
Yeah.
Why not do something like that? Or is it just because people don't want to think outside of the box and they'd rather just fight about it?
Well, like I said, it's all about, you know, the level of effort that somebody's willing to give towards something versus the level of effort somebody's willing to give to fight against it versus the actual benefit of it. The benefit of it is well known and everybody agrees on it, but the level of fight they're getting for it versus the level of fight they're willing to put up is grossly outmatched. Why people are so against it. Because like I said, eminent domain doesn't mean that they steal your property. It means they cut you a check.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people say they cut you a check for a ridiculously low amount, but I mean, honestly, I think in a lot of these cases, it's going to be a low amount from what you and I would say, but it's going to be well more than what that house would be worth if you try to turn around and sell it tomorrow.
Exactly.
'Cause nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, and they keep talking about how that, you know, we need to put you know how North Market is? It's 4 lanes and turning lane, and you know, I can't think of what they call that, but that's how they want to do that 49, where people are stopping in the neighborhood and, you know, shopping at grocery stores and this, that, and the other. And it's like there's nothing down there.
Yeah,
there's liquor stores. There's liquor stores and apartments and empty houses. Like there's nothing else down there.
Yeah, like people aren't going to shop there. You're not a main street.
It's not going to happen.
The only main street I've actually ever stopped and shopped at was in Ruston, and that's because it was fucking adorable.
Yeah.
It was like
maybe in Texas when you get them roundabouts.
Yeah.
You know.
And the only other time I've ever like actually like walked through a town was when I was driving up to Seattle. I stopped in Idaho, and the main reason I did is because I needed gas. And then like I pulled off, I got gas, and like just the pulling off and getting gas, I looked around. This town looked like it came out of a fucking Hallmark ad.
Yeah.
Like it was so picturesque and beautiful, and I was just like, oh my god. I spent like half a day just wandering about.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to my next stop till like 4 o'clock in the morning after that. But you know what? Still worth it to this day.
We did it in Colorado one morning when we were going from one campsite that we were staying at to we were actually going into Denver that day to we were going to see Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals live at Red Rock. It was such a dope show. Anyway, we stopped and had breakfast in a little town that's like 13,000 feet above sea level is what their claim to fame is or something like that. And it was pretty neat. It was a nice, neat little town, mountain town. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool. We walked around for a little bit. We didn't spend too much time because we were ready to shower. We had been car camping for about 4 days.
Yeah, a little ripe.
Yeah. No, I had a solar shower out there, so we weren't terribly bad. I mean, I know how to do it.
Yeah. I've had sex with EDM girls before. I know, like, baby wipes are your friend.
Dude, they've got some new ones now that are specifically for camping.
Yeah.
And it's like a micro towel that comes in a little pouch. You rip it open.
Yeah.
It's very similar to a baby wipe, but it doesn't dry you out. All the dirt like sticks to the towel. It doesn't just move around. So whenever you use one and you wipe yourself down, you feel clean.
Yeah.
Like that baby wipe leaves that film on you.
Yeah.
But these fucking micro towels, I wish I knew the name of them. I can't think
Yeah,
of
I'd love it if you gave him a shout out right now.
No, that'd be fantastic because, I mean, maybe the guy'd send me a pack of them.
Yeah.
But I get them for, do I have any? I don't think I have any right now. But I get them for hiking.
Yeah.
And they're fucking fabulous. Way better than wet wipes. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing beats a wet wipe when you get done taking a dump.
Yeah.
But,
It's
man.
It's like, God, it kicks a bidet's ass. It's
Dude,
just,
okay, so my wife didn't watch this shit. So you see that cardboard box over there?
yeah.
Guess what that is?
Wet wipes.
No.
Bidet.
A bidet.
Oh.
It's my wife's. That's what I got us for Christmas. I got it. I'm saying it's for her, but it's for my ass too. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to install it too.
God, that's gonna feel so good.
Man, a bidet. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a
What did I
good
see?
bidet.
You bet. You bidet believe it is.
Yeah.
Is that a bidet? You bidet believe it is. Oh man.
It's another bidet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good bidet.
A beautiful bidet in the neighborhood. What the fuck was I gonna say? Damn it, I can't remember now. Oh well.
Lost forever.
Well, I was gonna say something a minute ago, and the bidet conversation.
It was about, we were talking wet wipes, and we were
I
talking.
don't remember.
And then you said bidet in the neighborhood, and Eddie Murphy was on SNL.
We talked about that yesterday.
And so sex with EDM girls, wet wipes.
I don't remember.
Camping, solar shower.
I mean, if you ever want to go camping, let me know.
I won't want to go camping.
Never ever want to go camping.
I will never want to go camping.
I've got a $700 hammock. What does that change anything?
It makes me want to set it up in my house.
Dude, this thing is dope. It's like a chair. You can sit in it like a chair, or you can lay it. It's called an AMOK, A-M-O-K hammock.
Yeah.
And I will give them a shout out. I bought one when I did get really irritated recently because of AMOK.
You bought it at the top of the market?
I bought it from fucking Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever it was, and it was fucking not cheap. And this motherfucker, I paid all total for mine, the hammock, the sleeping pad, the rain fly, the whole 9 yards. I paid $700 total for mine, and you can get one right now for probably $189, full kit and caboodle.
I could fucking make one of those.
No, you wouldn't. No, I don't think so.
I really could.
I mean, you might be able to, but you see how it is. So here's the suspension points. It's at your hips instead of at your feet.
Yeah.
So, and then you can actually sit in it, like that feet part, the foot part can fold up underneath you, and you just sit in it like a chair. I'm trying to see if anybody's sitting in it. But then the back, like zip, like you can strap it and pull it up, and it sits the back up, and it's a legit like rocking chair. It's got in the side pocket right up here, like right there in that little side pocket, is a built-in bug screen. You can lay flat on it. You can kick up. You can kick back, dude. The thing is pretty badass. The one thing I will say,
I've seen those suspended tents that work off the same principle too.
Those triangle ones. Those things. We saw a couple using one, and they couldn't figure out how to. It looked like they were having trouble getting it tightened up, And
Yeah, because they knew they'd be fucking in it later.
Well, but he had two that were tight and one that was loose as fuck, and it wasn't in the right position. And I was like, to me, what you need to do is you need to loosen all three of them, and then like tighten them up, and then you need to start wiggling it to the middle of that tree. And we ended up, kind of talking to him, and he figured it out. But I mean, those things right there are badass, man. Those things look comfortable as fuck.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I'd set one up inside my house just to fuck in it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't set it up outdoors because, like,
I had the hammock set up in here at one point in time, right here in this corner. This is a long time ago.
That's a medieval sex swing right there. The hammock. That's what it was originally designed for. That's why they were always in pirate ships.
All right. Not because they're comfortable.
Nope, it's because people used to fuck in them.
Sleep on the ground.
People fucking them.
Well, they're comfortable as fuck.
And for people fucking in them, you bet your ass.
Well, I got a double nest back there that I use in the summertime, and you put a sleeping pad down inside of that motherfucker and lay down in it, and you don't even need a mosquito screen. You just put a bottle of water in the pocket that it packs down into and throw it over the top of you. It completely covers you up. Man, that thing's perfect. Love a hammock. I love a tent too, man. Just,
Hammocks are good. I'm a big fan of the hammock.
Well, like I said, if you ever change your mind, you want to go hiking with us, man. I'll take you.
Let's end it on a good note of hammocks.
Hammocks, great for fucking.
Great for fucking.
All right, man. That was episode 20. Man, thanks for coming.
Always good to have.
This is fun. I'm telling you, this is going to be our best episode. The highest rated, the one that everybody watches.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn's going to get his feelings hurt.
Guys, if you want to annoy Glenn, definitely
please,
like, comment, and subscribe. Just be like, oh my God,
this
Glenn
was the best.
Yeah,
y'all should do it without him more often.
All the time.
And did we ever say what he is visiting family for Christmas?
Yeah.
Man, those dogs. That dog right there in particular on that camera, man. I'm telling you, I felt like kicking him in the face all day. He will not stop barking at the air that's passing in front of the house.
Well, it could be that he's like barking at, because I saw a cat out there earlier.
It's his sister.
Well, then he could be barking at mice.
No, man, she'd be murdering mice. They'd be eating them too. Look, they're fucking insane. He barks at every goddamn thing that goes on. Pecans fall. Rah, 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 rah. Fireworks go off. Rah, 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 rah. Man.
Fireworks I get as a dog.
He's an asshole. I love him. I love Pete to pieces.
Well, you can only love something that's an asshole. I've tried to date enough women being a nice guy that I can tell. If you're not an asshole, nobody's going to love you.
Well, there's our happy note right there. Merry Christmas,
and
everybody.
Hammocks.
And hammocks. All right. Well,
Ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
like and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to go ahead and hit that bell, get notifications on all the fresh new episodes coming out. And and if you have any ideas for episodes or things that we'd like to talk about on the podcast, please go ahead and shoot us a link. So, thank you. Good night. You small.
You small.